Hey guys, welcome back to the next video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. This is Richard for WELSHYTECH, and today we are checking out a new monitor from Philips. This is the Evnia QD-OLED. It's 2560 by 1440. It is at a 27-inch, and this is a £400 QD-OLED. Should you buy it? Let's find out, shall we? Okay then, so we're here with a gaming monitor from Philips. This is the Philips Evnia 27M2N6501L. This is a 2560 by 1440p QD-OLED 27-inch monitor. Right, let's get into what comes in the box, shall we? Okay, so this is everything that comes with it. Of course, you do get the special care for QD-OLED. You also get the energy rating. You also do get some of the specs that's actually included. Then you do get the adjusted settings with precision center software. That's the quick guide. Of course, you get the important information. Then, of course, then you do get this, which this will tell you the grey level as well as the colour gambit. So that is the colour gambit there, and there's the grey level. So obviously you get HDMI, get display port. Then this cable over here then is to update the firmware. You do get a power jack. This one be for Europe and USA. Then, of course, then you do get the another power jack. Then this will be for the UK. And of course, you do get the stand as well as the arm. Now, let's actually install the monitor of the arm and the base onto the monitor. Now, actually installing this onto the overall arm is easy. See that groove there, and also you can see threading. Well, you take this part here, you put that in there like this until it sits. Then, of course, you get a screw then, which you do screw with your hand. You screw that in all the way until it fully seats. Do not over tighten it, you will damage the base. But once that's done, it is not moving. So let's get this onto the monitor now, shall we? Okay, so what you do is the monitor is going to be right here. Now you will have to remove this a little, so I suggest pulling it up and doing this just like that for there. And then, of course, then you do have access to the ports by here. And as for the ports, well, you do get two HDMI, they are 2.1. You do get a display port, 1.4. Obviously, you get audio. You do get a USB docking station here. You do get the USB up. That is to actually update the software. And then, of course, then you do get the power jack there for the included power. So, yeah, now let's get the arm on. Okay, with that exposed, now right by here on the arm, there is a little groove. Now, what I want you to do is place the groove onto this, just like this, and it should just clip into place. And that is it for that. Let's get the monitor out. Okay then, so when we get the actual specifications, the panel size is 26.5 or it is 67.3 centimeters. The aspect ratio is 16:9. It is a QD-OLED. The pixel patch is 0.2292 times 0.2292 millimeter. The brightness is SDR 200 nits, APL 100%, HDR 400 nits, APL 10%. The color is 1.07 billion bits. That's 10-bit. It also does have a color gambit of Adobe RGB 98% with a DCI P3 99% with an sRGB at 147.5% and an NTSC at 120%. The contrast ratio of this monitor is 1.5 million. Smart contrast is Mega Infinity DCR. The response rate is a 0.03 millisecond. The viewing angle is 178. The pixel enhancement is a smart image game. The max resolution is 560 by 1440 at 240 Hz DP or HDMI. The effective viewing area is 590.22 height with a times 333.72 vertical. It's sRGB, yes. It's got Delta E sRGB. It's got flicker free. It's got pixel density at 111 ppi. The display color coatings anti-reflection. It's got low input lag, it's got easy read, G-Sync, HDR10, it's got pixel format, RGBQ stripe, it's got smart crosshair, yes, it's got a stark shadow boost, yes, it does have a clear MR tier at 13,000, it does have smart sniper, yes, shadow boost, yes, it also has soft blue technology, yes, it also does have single input at HDMI 2.1, that's times 2, with a display port at 1.4 times 1. It also has audio output. It also does have a HDCP when it comes to the display. It also does have a USB 2.3 Gen 1 5 gigabit, that's downstream. It also does have a plug and play compatibility with Mac OS, sRGB, and Windows 10 and 11. Okay then, so we're going to play some CS2. First of all, the system I'm actually using is my test bench. It is a Ryzen 9 7900. It's got 32 gigs of DDR5. It's got a B850 motherboard from Safa. It's got an RX 7800 XT. It's got 32 gigs of DDR5. It's got a 1000 watt power supply, and it's also housing the BQuad Shadowbase 800 FX. So it's definitely capable of playing this at high refresh rate. So this monitor obviously is 2560 by 1440. It is at 240 hertz. It is a QD-OLED. The color bit is 10-bit. Colors look absolutely gorgeous. This is full QD-OLED, so you're going to get the full visual aspect of this monitor. But of course, this isn't a visually demanding game, really. I mean, you know, this is CS2, it's more about FPS, but we're getting close to 400, but obviously it is capped at 400, so unfortunately. But this is a very responsive game. It doesn't feel jittery, laggy. I can't feel no input or latency. You can actually feel how, or see how very responsive the mouse is. So let's get into something that's a bit more visually stunning, because that's where a QD-OLED tends to shine more than just a high refresh rate monitor. Okay, so this is Indiana Jones. Now, when it comes to OLED, you are going to want to pick a game that's visually stunning, because that's where you're going to get the most benefit from an OLED. It's going to make the colors look a lot better, as well as the overall blacks as well, because with OLED, it's black. There's no in-between, it's black. And obviously, the better the overall contrast as well, it'll make the colors vibrant. Now, as you can see here, this does look absolutely stunning. It's visually gorgeous. This is why I picked this game to show you guys, because visually stunning game, and quite honestly, there's nothing really better. If you want an experience with OLED, trust me, you're going to want to play a game that genuinely takes full advantage of the OLED, because this is going to have stunning visuals. It's going to have stunning effects, and it's going to be generally gorgeous. Now, whether you agree with me or not, that's really going to be up to you. But, you know, yeah, just beat someone up. But, yeah, I mean, this visually is gorgeous, but that's going to be up to you, really, whether you take my opinion or not, but that's up to you. But this is where an OLED comes in, because OLED will definitely give you the best experience possible. Oh, yeah, visually speaking, best game to use with an OLED. Oh, so yeah, let's get into some content consumption now and show you some of the other benefits of an OLED. Okay, so some content consumption. Now, obviously, this is going to be a video from me, but as you can see, visually, it looks gorgeous. The colors pop, and the blacks are blacks. Now, I will say I'm not exactly fond of the black outline on the monitor. I think it does kind of distract you, but obviously if you're playing a game that's more cinematic and more about visuals, then of course that's where you're not really going to notice. But consuming content, this is where an OLED definitely helps. Now, as you can see, the colors are very vibrant. That's the whole point of OLED. The colors are meant to pop. The blacks are meant to look black. The overall darks are meant to look dark. But look visually, look how stunning that looks. And this is just me showing it you through a camera. Now, yes, watching a movie would probably be the easier one to show you. But as I've got no movies here that I can actually show you without getting a copyright, this is probably the best a way I can actually have you guys to consume some. Okay then, so this is EIZO Test. I've used this in previous monitor reviews. This is a good indicator. It does show you how the viewing angles are and so forth. Now, of course, this is test pattern. Use the test pattern to check the image quality. The circles should be complete and round. The lines in the frequency pattern should be clear and defined, and the color gradient should not have any breaks or banding. So let's go to the second one, defective pixels on black. This one by here, it just checks if there's any defective pixels on the overall monitor, so everything should be black. This one, same thing, but this is white. There should be no defective pixels, and you would tell the difference, because you would see black. You'd be seeing black spots. That's where you would indicate a missing pixel. Then of course, then we got defective pixels in green. This one's exactly the same, but this one is for if you see a black pixel, this indicates a missing red subpixel. Then of course, then you got green, which is basically the same thing. These are all different types of ones to check if you've got any dead pixels on your monitor. Then of course, then you've got uniformity. This one by here is access the uniformity of the image using various grayscales. The brightness should be equally distributed across the entire image. So if you go from 50 to 50% to 25, 50, 75, it should be fully distributed within the overall monitor. And then you've got the color distances then. This one's check the extent to which your monitor can display similar colors while keeping them differentiable. So you just change different colors here, and you should be able to tell the difference, which is a good thing. So yeah. Then we've got gradients. This one here then obviously is to choose a greater viewing distance to check the display for gradients. So of course you can go from an 8 up to 256 in the gradient, and obviously you can tell the difference and going from black to white where the gradient should be. And then of course then you got sharpness. This is mainly about the text. This is mainly about the text, how the text looks on the screen. Now it does look very sharp, I will say that. It does look really, really sharp, as you can probably see in the video. Now, we move on to the next step. Now this is the viewing angles. This will be, this is usually what you'd have issues with when it comes to VA panels. VA panels do tend to have a lot of problems with the viewing angles. They tend to go off axis, but this one seems fine. Then you've got the gamma. The gamma then is to determine your monitor's gamma value. Use the slide bar to change the logo's grayscale until the logo blends into the background to the greatest possible extent. So basically until it actually goes into the background. That's cool. Then you got the response time here. Then this is just telling you what, basically this is the test that primarily serves to compare the response times of two monitors. Start by selecting the speed of that create clear streaks. So basically go to that now. Go to that. So distance, let's have a look. Put the distance closer now. Like this. So you go all the way, and then obviously it's going to depend. But that's it for EIZO Test. And this is the interface. Now, as you can probably see, you've got actually a number of different presets. You've got standard, Illustrator, you've got FPS, you've got racing, RTS, movie, low blue mode, you've got easy read, economy, you've got game 1, game 2. Usually that's just making the colors overall better. Then you've got game modes, which has adaptive sync. It has a crosshair as well as stark shadow boost, as well as smart sniper, as well as low input lag and smart frame. Now this monitor does actually have an RGB backlit, so what I will do is I will put it over on the video here, but you might actually see it. It's actually very nice, I will say that for them. And obviously then you got the inputs, which obviously does DisplayPort, it 2 HDMIs, and it does auto audio. It doesn't actually have onboard speakers, which I am a bit gutted about, but you know, I wish they had speakers, but oh well. Now this is the system, this will tell you the refresh rate. The OSDN is where you adjust the horizontal, vertical, transparency, and the OSD timeout. Obviously PIP, that's good also. You've got smart size, but there you've got overscan. Then of course then you've got, go back, you've got setup right here. Power LED, you've got the language, you've got the resolution notice on, that's for, and then you've got OLED panel care. This is for the overall OLED because they do tend to get worse over time, so that's just so you take care of it. And then that's it for the interface. What I'm going to start off with is whether you should buy OLED or not. Now, that's going to be up to you, but if someone who is actually watching this video and is considering going for an OLED, considering how much these were about 2 to 3 years ago, you'd be talking £700-800, even more. Some OLEDs are extremely expensive depending on what the brand is. That goes for Philips as well. They've got models that are a lot more expensive, but what I will say is the other models are bigger, so that is main reason. But this one, the color depths as well as the overall blacks look very, very nice. They look fantastic on this. The overall aspect ratio, the response rate, the resolution, it's a good little package for £400. Now, yes, £400 is still a lot of money, but considering that if you want to get into OLED and get that OLED experience, then I don't think it's that much. It's not that bad of a price considering how they used to cost. Now, whether you want to buy that or not, that is up to you. I will leave a link down below for this monitor, as well as the Philips website, so you can take a good look at this monitor because it does have a lot of cool functions. It's also good for content creation because of the sRGB or the Adobe RGB, so it is definitely tailored towards someone who consumes content, makes content, plays games, anything like that. It is tailored towards that, and that's where you get the best experience from OLED. So whether you want to buy it or not, that's up to you, but the link for that will be in the description. Now, I'd like to say a big thank you to Philips, and as always, I hope you guys have a fantastic week and weekend ahead of you. What is coming on the weekend? Well, it will be an AOC gaming monitor that's coming Saturday, so make sure you subscribe, and I've got tons of stuff coming. This is Rich for WELSHYTECH. Goodbye.